What is going down, Raider Nation? I'm your host, Cliff Thornton, and welcome to the Raider Fan Podcast. I've touched base on OTAs. I went over the quarterback controversy, the quarterback competition, rather, the running back competition, the emergence of Dylan LeBeau coming out of New Hampshire, how he's impressing a lot of the players and the coaches. I want to get more into the offense, but I'm going to hold off until my next podcast, which I'm going to do this upcoming Thursday. Today, I do want to touch base on the defense, although I kind of want to give you a hint of who's coming up on top of the competition between Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, but we're going to wait till Thursday on that. What I want to talk about is everybody was excited about June 1st. Why? Jimmy G's money that was hit towards the Raiders cap has been released. Because they released Jimmy G, they waited to June 1st. $24 million comes onto the cap, giving the Raiders $34.1 million to go out and sign some free agents. Now, the good thing about having that kind of money, all our draft picks are signed. All our free agents are signed. All the players that we want to bring back are all signed. So now we can use that money for some free agents. Where should we spend the money? That's why I really want to dive into this defense. Last year, we were a top 10 defense. They really put it together a lot, even though there were a lot of injuries, in the secondary. And I believe the secondary is probably the weakest part of the Raiders last year, aside of some strong defensive tackle, more pressure up the middle. But you look at what the Raiders did this year. In free agent signings, they went out and got one of the most dominant defensive tackles. They got Christian Wilkins. What's that going to do? It's going to add pressure up the middle. Anybody who knows football will tell you, anytime you get pressure up the middle, the quarterback don't like it. Now you have the two defensive ends coming off the side, and Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz. Normally, the quarterbacks are able to step up and get away, but when you have that pressure coming up the middle, it's a whole different story. That automatically helps out the linebackers and also helps out the defensive backs in the secondary, safeties and free safeties. So that is one great signing. Also bringing back Adam Butler, another defensive tackle, another menace in the middle. I don't know if they're going to play side by side. I'm sure there'll be some sets where they do. Are they going to be rotating? So there's a lot of questions on this defensive line. Where's John Jenkins fit in this? Does he become the starter on the opposite side of Wilkins? Or is he, so I kind of like this rotation with the defensive tackles. I'm interested in Tyree Wilson also. Do they put him as a starter? He's really a defensive end, strong, fast. Do they put him in the defensive tackle in the 3 technique, 1 technique with speed and a little bit of agility? Added pressure, or is he in the rotation for the defensive ends? Because right now the Raiders only have really 2 dominant defensive ends in Crosby and Kuntz. So I don't know what Wilson's gonna do. Do they leave him at the defensive tackle? That's gonna be a good question. Then let's get into the linebackers, because I like Debo, I like Spillane. I don't know who else is out there. I mean, they got Ohio State in Elkenberg, but, we're going to find out how he's going to be as a rookie, but he's from Ohio State. I mean, they're always producing good defensive players. So I kind of like that pickup. I kind of like the linebacker core. I'm more interested also in this secondary. Who should the Raiders pick up to make our top 10 defense a top 5? And I'm going to say right now, Howard from the Miami Dolphins. He's a free agent. He's a shutdown corner. You put him the opposite side of Jake Jones. You have a formidable pair of defensive backs. You put Epps. You put Trayvon Mohan, I believe it is. You put him in the rotation. Hobbs is the nickel. And then remember, we signed Richardson and we signed Taylor. Are they going to compete to make the secondary better? But I would definitely bring in Howard. Imagine being an offense and you're looking at Howard, a shutdown corner, Jones, kind of a shutdown corner in his own way. Epps as the safety, Hobbs is the other safety or the nickel corner. It's not an easy pitcher to throw against, especially when you have two defensive ends coming up at you with Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz, and then Wilkins and whoever the other defensive tackle is. I'm excited about this defense. Right now, like I said, I'm looking at a top 10 defense. Sign Howard, we're automatically a top 5 defense. That's my opinion. We have $34 million to spend. I would definitely go hard after him. That's only going to make this defense better. And again, I would love to talk about the offense, but that's going to be for Thursday. But tell me what you think. Who should the Raiders sign? Who should they go after with a $34 million? I mean, everybody signed from free agency that we wanted. Anybody that we wanted to come back, we re-signed. We re-signed all our draft picks. So now let's go out there and get some free agents. The only one I'm really hoping for, I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket is Howard from the Miami Dolphins. Why not bring him in? Then you have two of the best players that were on the Dolphins last year, in Wilkins and Howard. They're here with the Raiders. They're only going to make them better. So if the Raiders, if AP, you're listening, Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, if you're listening, go out there, grab Howard. I'm sure Raider Nation would love to bring in that shutdown corner and really solidify that secondary. You know, in the draft, in the 13th pick, we went and we got a tight end. I still believe that was a great draft with the 13th pick. The best player available, the best tight end available. I was hoping to get that number one defensive back, but again, Bennett was there as a rookie. He struggled. With this nucleus of a team. I would really like to see Bennett maybe learn a little bit more. Last year, it kind of seemed the game was too big for him. He had some good plays, but he really got exposed a lot. So I'm hoping they bring in Howard. That solidifies the secondary between Debo and Spillane. That solidifies that linebacker core, and we already know about the defensive line. It's probably the most dominant defensive line in the upcoming season. Let's just hope everybody stays healthy. But you take a look who we're going to play. Kansas City Chiefs. We already know that's going to be a chippery game. You look at Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be staring down Wilkins, Crosby, Kuntz. And whether it's Wilson, whether it's Jenkins, whether it's Butler as the other defensive tackle, they're coming up the middle. And we're going to chase them off the edges. And you got to give respect where respect due. You know, Patrick Mahomes is a really talented, great quarterback who's looking to probably do something that not even Tom Brady has done, is try to triple-peat. So they're going to come in, guns blazing, but that's a defensive line that you don't want to play against. And what does that do? It brings up pressure. It helps our linebackers. So when you get them crossing routes, you get them drag routes from the tight end, or the routes with the fullback or halfback, whether they're in the flats, where they got that choice route. We have that linebacker core, and you have to make a quicker decision when you're bringing that pressure up the middle, when you're rolling out, or when you think you have a lot of time in the pocket. Try to throw that deep ball. When you have Howard, let's pick him up, and the rest of the crew. It's not as easy as it sounds. So I really think you get Howard. We solidified this defense, and we put a lot of pressure on the Kansas City Chiefs. We're looking at, let's look at Denver really quick. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. They did pick up the rookie. Stidham is battling for the starting position. I don't know what what they're really going to do. Sean Payton is, I like him as a coach. He's a good coach, but I think he's still in the rebuilding mode. Then you look at the Chargers. Howard, I'll give credit where credit's due. He knows how to build a team. I don't know if that nucleus is still as strong as it once was over there in Los Angeles Chargers, but we'll see what he can do. But again, look at our defense compared to their offense. You bring in Howard, I think that we have a better defense than Kansas City has as an offense, as Denver Broncos has as an offense, and the same thing with the Chargers. I think our defense really sets the tone and does a lot of damage to their offense. I think we're going to create a lot of problems. So I'm excited about this. I really want to jump into the offense, but again, I'm going to wait till next week. I'm going to wait till this week, this Thursday, to come up. But in the comments, tell me who you would like for the Raiders to sign. I'm saying Howard from the Miami Dolphins. If you agree, give a like and just tell me you agree. If there's another player that you're also interested, put that down and let's talk about it. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. A lot of subscribers, a lot of likes, a lot of views, sharing it, going back and forth, just talking about the Raiders. Again, this is coming from a Raider fan. I'm not a reporter. I am having so much fun just talking about the Raiders and talking to my listeners, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube. I'm having a great time. Continue to give me some feedback, good and bad. Go easy on the bad, but let's communicate a little bit more because before you know it, the season's gonna be here, and I'm gonna be doing twice a week. So and at some point, I'd like to start getting some of my listeners up here on the show, and let's talk Raider football as fans because there's nothing better than talking about Raiders from the Raider fan base. So it's the best fan base in the NFL. We've proven it. We're worldwide. We're all over the place. So I'm looking forward to it, to talking to some of my listeners. So until then, like always, though, thank you. Without you guys, sharing, liking, communicating with me, this would be a little boring. So again, I can't thank you guys enough. And until Thursday, let's go Raiders.